Oh man, not again. Here we go again, boys. Just like with the Jett Lawrence helmet grab situation, the fanboys just have to come out of the woodwork and find a way to defend their boy. Haiden Deegan could never do anything wrong on the track. Oh no, Deegan, that guy, he could never make a mistake on the track. No, bro, definitely not. Okay, listen, guys. So, the biggest defense that I've seen for this Haiden Deegan, middle finger situation is people will say things like, bro, I don't understand why everybody's getting their panties in a wad over Deegan throwing the middle finger. Is everybody getting soft? I mean, what's going on here, man? We need more badass moto dudes. We need more middle fingers in moto. Yeah, Deegs, dude. Yeah. Right? Basically, that's what I've seen. Okay? So, first of all, you dumbasses, you do understand this is not just about Deegan throwing the middle finger in itself. I mean, you do realize that, right? It's about the reasons why he's throwing the middle finger in the first place. That's the whole point. Context matters in these situations. That can be the difference in a certain rider on the track looking like a badass moto dude defending theirself, and then a guy looking like a entitled brat having a temper tantrum. You see? There's a fine line there. It just all depends on what happened to that rider on the track for them to have that reaction in the first place. Just like with the Jett Lawrence situation, okay? He grabs Jason Anderson's helmet after the race simply for Jason Anderson racing him. There was nothing that Anderson really did other than racing incident shit. Therefore, it made Jett Lawrence look more like an entitled brat having a temper tantrum than it did a badass moto dude just defending himself getting in a fight, you see? Listen, bro, I'm all down. I'm all good with the throwing middle fingers and grabbing helmets and getting in fights and, for instance, the Weston Pike situation where he got into a UFC match with Vince Freeze after Freezy purposely took him out like 3 times in one night. I was all good with that. I was like, hell yeah, Weston Pike, that's what you should have done. Okay? But again, that's an occasion, that's an instance where there was an actual valid reason for having that reaction. That's the whole point with this Deegan situation. They go into the first corner and have a regular racing incident first turn pile up that was really nobody's fault. It especially wasn't Tom Vialle's fault, the guy that Deegan was flipping off, okay? Therefore, it makes Deegan look more like an entitled brat having a temper tantrum than it does like some badass moto dude flipping somebody off for a good reason. But see, a lot of y'all fanboys, you're trying to blur the lines between those two things because you know that Deegan looked stupid in this situation. You know he looked corny in this situation. You know he just simply made a mistake. There's nothing else to it. Y'all boys are trying to turn this into 1,000 things that it's not, just like you did with the Jett Lawrence situation. Spency boy ain't gonna let you get away with it. Listen, bro, we're not saying you can't react. We're not saying you can't throw up a middle finger or fight a guy on a track. That's not what we were ever saying. We're saying for the particular reasons why Deegan did it or Jett Lawrence did it, they were not valid reasons for doing it, aka, continuing this sort of narrative around these particular riders being entitled and, when they don't get their way, they've got to try to find a way to blame it on somebody else, right? when it's really just a bad luck thing. It's not like somebody purposely did something to them on the track and they have some crazy overreaction for no good reason. That's what we're talking about, okay? And yes, you can say Deegan's 2 years younger than Jett Lawrence, so there's a little more leeway there that can be given to Deegan, but still, the point is you can't defend the middle finger, the bird flipping off in this particular situation. It was not badass. It was not hardcore moto shit. It was, you're looking corny out there, bro, for flipping somebody off that didn't even cause the first corner pile up in the first place. And really, at the end of the day, it was just a racing incident. Nobody's fault, really, at the end of the day. But it certainly wasn't Tom Vialle's fault. Okay? Therefore, Deegan flipping the guy off for absolutely no reason at all for a racing incident on the track. That's why we're saying these things about Deegan. It's not just for him flipping the bird just because of him flipping the bird, you idiots. But of course you would flip all that around, okay? And also, let me just bring up this red flag situation, because here we go again when it comes to the Deegan fanboys. They want to all of a sudden act like they don't know how a red flag works. So, you do understand a red flag has nothing to do with the amount of riders that crashed, right? You do understand that, right? It's all about how much a rider has been injured on the track to the point where they can't be moved safely off of the track. That's what the red flag is all about. It ain't got shit to do with how many guys crashed. It's like if you have a rider down that they're scared to move for risk of injuring the rider further, aka like a neck injury or a back injury or something of that nature, that's when they throw the red flags, which was simply not the case at all in this first corner pileup. Nobody was injured like that in this first corner pileup. Therefore, you don't throw the red flag. This is not complicated, you Deegan fanboys. I know your boy went down, but, you know, the rules are the rules, okay? Like, there was no reason for them to throw that red flag, bro. Nobody had a neck injury, nobody had a back injury. Therefore, you throw caution flags. You don't have a red flag. Y'all boys are gonna have to quit this shit. You're looking so damn corny, it's insane, bro. I mean, holy shit. Like, come on, guys. When it gets to the point where you wouldn't say these things about any other rider, but you do because of the rider that it happened to, that's when you know you're over the line. That's when you know you're way too into that corny fanboy shit. Look, I'm a fan of Deegan and I'm a fan of Jett Lawrence, but I'm also going to be honest and treat them like I would any other rider. Okay? A lot of y'all boys are simply not doing that. You are giving special treatment. Trust me, Deegan gets plenty of that. You don't, as a fanboy, you don't have to give Deegan special treatment, okay? He gets enough of that from the broadcast and everywhere else. And by the way, how are we getting our panties in a wad for simply reacting to these riders overreacting for simple racing incidents on the track? But no, we're the ones overreacting. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay.